Alright guys, the Beer Leaguer here, back with another video about Rent the Rink, this time in Long Island, New York and New Jersey from February 2019. Game number 1 took place at the Prudential Center, home of the New Jersey Devils. This was on Sunday, February 24th. If you don't know what Rent the Rink is, I did it before in Pittsburgh. I actually have a video about my Pittsburgh experience. I'll link that down in the description. But basically what it is a chance for beer leaguers to play a game of pickup or beer league hockey out on an NHL rink. There you can see apparently I wasn't able to jump NHL boards to get on the ice. I don't know why. So here we just have some footage. We played, there's 3 games actually in New Jersey. Three games, 3 different skill levels. A lot of people ask me what kind of skill levels play at Rent the Rink. And it is all kinds of skill levels. We had guys out there that were extremely good, and then people like me that are below mediocre out there. So it's a lot of different people get to play. What we had in Jersey here that was a little bit different from Pittsburgh is there was refs, which was nice. Not needed, but it was nice. But that way you got to have regular face-offs and stuff like that. So it was more like a regular beer league game and less of just kind of a pickup game. Which is a nice little difference, So here we go. I just have some footage of the game, so you can kind of see what kind of skill level it is out there playing. There was, like I said, 3 games. I was in the first game. So one of the guys I actually met during this first game had a buddy playing in the second game. So after this first game, after I went and got changed and everything, and I'll also say NHL locker rooms, and we weren't even in an actual locker room really, and NHL showers, much nicer than the places I play hockey at now. Really, really nice. But then we kind of got changed, went back out, and I hung out with this guy, and we watched the second and third games actually. He knew one guy in the games. I didn't know anybody, but it was a ton of fun to still watch those games. We were able to sit down close to the ice, which is just cool, and it was a neat thing. It was a super fun way to spend a day. As I said from the Pittsburgh video, I super recommend doing any of these Rent the Rink events. If they're close to you, you totally should do it. A lot of people fly for these though. They had one earlier in Montreal. A lot of these guys from the Long Island, New Jersey area actually did the one in Nashville and the one in Montreal. So totally worth it. The Pittsburgh one's a couple-hour drive for me. This game was, this is about a 7-hour drive for me to get out to Newark, but totally worth it, and I would do it again. And can't recommend enough doing these Rent the Rink events because they're a ton of fun. Because after the game, like I said, there's 3 games on Sunday. Monday night, we actually went back to the Prudential Center, and we had tickets to go watch the Devils play. And you sit with the same people that you kind of played hockey with, so you spend the day kind of at the game. You're just sitting there, reminiscing about the game, but also doing stuff like, hey, remember over there, pointing on the ice, remember that's where I shot the puck and totally missed the net, or hey, remember that face-off dot that they're taking a face-off now, that's where I took a face-off and totally lost it. Fun stuff like that. Here I am after the game, kind of doing a little lap around. They always give you a couple minutes afterwards to take some pictures on the ice. A lot of people take selfies with their phones. If you have fans come and watch you can have them take pictures of you out there and stuff. So there's that, and here's heading back to I wouldn't call it a locker room, but it was an actual room, which was nice. Heading back through the hallways, you can see the guys for game number 2 sitting out there waiting for us to get done so they can get out there. So one of the really cool things about these 2 events this year that they happened during the same week is a lot of the people that played in both of them, which I think everybody that did the Long Island one later on in the week also did the New Jersey one. I could be wrong, but I think just about everybody did, is they were all local. And a lot of them played in the same house league in Long Island. And one of the things that their league does is they rent out this outdoor rink twice a month, I believe, to play at. This is just a park that's in Long Island. You can see there, the top of the boards are wood. Not a fancy rink or anything like that. It's, I'm assuming, a roller rink the rest of the year. Chain link fences around, and they flood it for the winter. So it actually reminded me a lot of playing at an outdoor rink that I learned to play roller hockey at a long time ago. So it was really fun. It brought back a lot of memories. If you look along the boards, you can see a couple of construction cones set up. That's areas of the ice, or I guess it doesn't quite go up to the boards, so pucks can go out underneath. You can also, if you notice on the bench, it's ice in the front of the boards there, because it kind of leaks through, I'm assuming. It was super fun. Just a great time to play. It was a lot of the guys know each other. Like I said, they play in the same league. Not in the same teams, I guess, play in the same league. There was then Aaron from Rent the Rink was out there, and Charlie from Mitten Sports was also out there. He was at the whole event. You could see him skating around there, and all the guys kind of knew them for the most part, because a lot of these guys had actually, like I said, done other Rent the Rink events, so they kind of knew each other. And at this point, I was kind of getting to know a lot of these same guys too, because they had seen me all the day before, seen me at the Devils game, and because I was one of the few faces they didn't know. So, got to know a lot of these guys for this evening. It was super cold that night. You can probably hear the ice cracking. It was single-digit temperatures. It was crazy winds. The night before had been winds I know had knocked over a lot of trees and down power lines and stuff like that. And it wasn't quite that bad, but it was pretty close. So it was super cold out, cracky ice, but a ton of fun. It was also a lot of hockey. I think we were scheduled for about 2 hours out there, and we played for I don't know, like an hour and 45 minutes or something like that of actual hockey. So people were getting really tired. I was joking with a couple of the guys that everyone else was getting slower because they were getting tired, and I was staying the exact same speed, so I was very used to it. Alright, this takes us to what was the third and final day of Rent the Rink events during the week. This was at Nassau over on Long Island. Here's some photos of between the Rent the Rink game and then the actual Islanders game that night. There was a tailgate that happened, which I'll talk a little bit more about that later. But first, here at Nassau Veterans Memorial Coliseum, the former and now, again, current sometime home of the Newark Islanders. This time we didn't actually get a regular locker room. We kind of got a area along a hallway that was closed off to change. Didn't matter. I was very glad, though, that my hockey bag could turn to a backpack because it was a very, very long walk, especially after the game. This time, more traditional Rent the Rink event. It was just one game. Split up. They usually do them split up into two halves, two 20-minute halves. You get a little time in the beginning to warm up, and again, you get that time at the end to kind of go around and take pictures. At this event, we actually had the original hockey sauce kit guys. So you'll see a guy on the ice taking photos and videos, and you'll see a guy in a red helmet with Vinny Sauce on the back of his jersey. He's like kind of the face of original hockey sauce kit. Him and another guy from the company played. They were both super cool. Took a ton of razzing about stuff, but they were super cool about it, which was really nice. They actually also hosted the tailgate they saw some photos of between games, because the game that was taking place after this was actually the Toronto Maple Leafs' first game in Long Island for the year, so it was the big return of John Tavares. So it was kind of an insane tailgate, insane environment, and everything. But here you go. This is the game. Super fun. Once again, you know, refs. It was one game, so it was very mixed skill levels. Very, very mixed skill levels of stuff. But a really, really good time. A little bit of a different setup for Long Island than the other Rent the Rinks that I've done is between halves, I almost said periods, but it's only halves. Between halves, we actually had a full shootout that we got to do. Just had it going. It was shoot until you miss a shot, until you don't make it. Here we go, coming up with my first attempt at the shootout. I'll be quiet so you can enjoy the full amazingness. Look at that, there you go. I actually made a shot in the shootout. My one move actually worked. So you can go you can see people chatting during the shootout, you know, talking to each other, taking pictures, taking videos of each other, all sorts of stuff. I mean, it was a super fun thing to do that shootout. That was actually a blast. Never had anything like that really in the middle of a game. It was a really cool idea, though, and I think because we had a little extra time, it seemed like at Nassau, it seemed like they gave us a decent amount of time, which was kind of unexpected because right before we got out there, here's my shootout attempt number 2. I'll talk over it since I didn't make it because I only have one move and the goalie figured that out. Right before we got out onto the ice, the Maple Leafs had a optional skate, so I think they didn't have anything else going on until close to game time. So that's probably why we got a little. And here you go, a pretty unprecedented thing to have happen. Between halves, we actually got a full flooding cut from the Zamboni. Which was crazy, something unexpected. Nobody really knew that we were going to get that. So for our second half of the game, we actually got to go out on brand new ice, which sounds like a silly little thing, but it was actually super cool, and everyone was super excited like little kids about it, and had a super fun time watching the Zamboni, and it was hilarious. So while that's going, and while the second half stuff kind of picks up, I'll just tell you a little bit more with Rent the Rink stuff. Like I said, I've done a couple of these events. They're awesome. I can't recommend them enough. They're usually a good deal for the price, too. They're usually fairly cheap. This particular one, Long Island, was a little bit more expensive, mostly because of the game that it was. So there was like a premium ticket for it, but totally worth it. Recommend traveling. I know people fly for them. I drive for them. It's just a super cool, unreal thing. So here we go at the end of the game. Kind of walking around and getting back to the locker room. Alright, so there you go. That was my Rent the Rink 2019 experience, guys. Thanks a lot, and thanks for watching.